Okay, so we're going to look at the sample exam here, and we're going to look at question 1. So part A, question 1. And you've generally got these short answer questions, and you've got to be very careful with these. Abstract class versus concrete class. You've got to talk about that. So what you've got to do here, I could write 3 pages on what an abstract class is, and then I could write another 3 pages on what a concrete class is. But that's not answering the question. Okay, so the first thing you've got to do very carefully, always with exams, is read the question. That's where most students, well not most, but so many students fall down. They just don't read the question. So abstract class versus concrete class wants you to compare and contrast. How are they the same? How are they different? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Compare and contrast. How are they the same? How are they different? Okay, so it's those sorts of things you want to keep in mind. You want to write short little sentences so you don't bury the gold that you're writing inside long paragraphs or something like that. So short little sentences, bullet points are ideal. So let's do an example here, and we'll pretend we're comparing and contrasting houses versus caravans. Okay, pretend that's a question because that's something we can all relate to. Okay, so caravans have wheels. Houses don't. I'm talking about normal houses here, not houses on wheels, okay? So, caravans have compact living spaces. Houses don't. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm comparing and contrasting. Houses are built on land. Caravans are mobile. Okay, I'm comparing and contrasting what they're built on, how big they are, what sort of, whether they've got wheels or not, all those sorts of things. Houses are permanently connected to the power, sewer, and phone. Caravans are temporarily to power, sewer and phone to these. Okay, so do you see what I'm doing? I'm comparing and contrasting. How are they similar? How are they different? We could also get into the advantages and disadvantages of each as well. Advantages, disadvantages. Okay, so that's other things we could talk about. How do the advantages compare? How do the disadvantages compare? So we're comparing and contrasting. We're comparing one versus the other. So it's very important you frame your answers like that. Don't write a page on what a house is, or 2 pages or 3 pages, and then pages on what a caravan is, because it won't get you any marks. It'll be worth 0 marks. Okay, you've got to compare and contrast. You've got to answer the question. So read the question, answer the question. Very important. Let's look at the next one. And a Java class allows implementation of only one interface. Now, often with these sorts of things, when you're doing it, it can be useful to think of examples that can help you explore the topics and get the words out that you need to say. It can help you think about things and frame things and get the words out that you need to say. So it's saying now that interface, a Java class only allows implementation of one interface. Is that true or false? Why is it true? Why is it false? Prove it's true or prove it's false. Give some examples, okay? And give some examples of where you either it's true or it's false. Okay? Prove what you're saying. Don't just write true. That'll get you maybe the question's worth 2 marks. That might get you a quarter of a mark. Okay? Or false. Don't just say true or false. Okay, so because that'll just get you maybe a quarter of a mark. Maybe the mark is feeling super generous, half a mark. But you've got to explain your answers, justify your answers. And if it's comparing and contrasting, you've really got to compare and contrast. How are they the same? How are they different? Advantages, disadvantages, that sort of thing. If it's saying whether something's true or false, you've got to justify your answer and explain it. Again, short little sentences, bullet points are ideal. Now in this case, Java allows the implementation of multiple interfaces. So for example, I could have a class And what interfaces have we seen that our Java programs can implement? Well, there's There's the action listener for making buttons clickable. If you write your classes in the old style way before lambdas came about, so it implements action listener. If you need to compare class objects, you could implement comparable, and so on. So you can have a whole lot of classes here you can implement, or a whole lot of interfaces you can implement, as many as you like. Okay, and so the answer there is false, because you can implement many interfaces. And just make it really clear, you can implement many interfaces. You can implement 0, 1, or many interfaces. Okay, and then explain why. Give some examples. Okay, so that's how you answer those sorts of questions. Be very, very careful of just writing pages without clearly answering the question. Okay, you don't want to make it hard for the marker to find the goal that you're writing. So write short little sentences. Bullet points are ideal. Short little sentences or bullet points. Okay, and don't write long rambling answers where you vaguely touch on things. Be very clear. Be very direct. Make sure you make your points clearly. Okay, hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.